Starting, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa celebrators of all ages, welcome to Season 2, Episode 12 of Chicago's premier pro wrestling podcast, scheduled for one fall on Black Market Ivan. In front of me, I've got Danielle La Flama Blanca, 872.1 miles away from us in the heart of Chicago, Val Capone. Pat is not with us today. He's
not dead. He's just not here.
Not dead. He
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, but he's not dead. That's all we'll say.
Rest in blunts.
Rest in penises. Wait, no.
Oh, rest in the dick hole. Whoa. Throwback to last week.
I was just saying rest in penis because he loves Joey Ryan so much, but that's cool.
Oh. I guess
he said he was trying a new weed called Triple Dickplex. I don't know what that means. I don't know what's going to happen to him when he...
Sounds like a good time to me.
I know, right? Yeah. I signed up both Val and I up for that.
Also, hopefully I have the next day off.
so Val, Danielle and I have tea, chamomile tea. Actually, I have chamomile tea. Here, listen.
I don't have chamomile.
Listen.
That's something different.
That's me. Oh
no!
I was stirring my tea and it just went over on my tablet. But
you effed up.
I'm doing some chamomile tea. Danielle, what kind of tea are you drinking?
I'm drinking an Earl Grey black tea with lavender infused.
Why do you want so much caffeine at this time?
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, damn, girl, you ready to party?
You know what it is? I've been so sluggish that, this little boost will make me be able to get through the show without feeling like I need to put my head down. So, gotta adjust what I'm ingesting for the show.
Adjust your
ingestment.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Hey Val, what are you drinking this fine evening?
Aguacita.
Nice. All right.
I'm drinking a little bit of water, but just regular Ice Mountain water in honor of Patrick. No Valsentia as I normally would have purchased, but yep. Here's me drinking water.
Well, let's all take a deep, instead of pouring one out for our fallen homie, let's all take a deep inhale of the communal. Here we go.
I legit almost just died.
Man, you guys are weak.
Dude, when did you get here?
I'm gonna play the role of the neckbeard fan that doesn't smoke weed and say, I've got the munchies, bro.
Oh, God.
Okay. For the record, I am that neckbeard because I don't smoke weed, which is hilarious.
But you just inhaled, man.
I drank it in, man.
So that was our... Danielle, do you have any tea facts?
I do.
Oh,
okay.
Because of this change of beverage, I was just curious, can you make alcohol out of tea? That Google, don't ever look at my Google history because there's some messed up things, including this. This isn't messed up, but this is very just fascinating. And you can, and buckle in, people. Okay. This involves kombucha.
Kombucha.
Oh, yeah, that too.
It does contain alcohol. And I'm going to go through this little tidbit. Fermentation involves the breakdown of sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. As a result, kombucha tea does contain small amounts of alcohol. Commercial kombucha teas are labeled non-alcoholic because they contain less than 0.5%. This meets the regulations set by the U.S. Alcohol and Tobacco Tax Trade Bureau. However, home-brewed kombucha teas tend to have a significantly higher alcohol content. In fact, some home brews have as much as 3% alcohol or higher. I thought that was kind of fascinating.
That's interesting. Now, I've never had kombucha before.
I have.
Yeah, and what would a 3% alcohol kombucha taste like?
It doesn't taste like alcohol. It's like a fizzy drink that's delicious and it helps your guts.
Okay.
So I drink it pretty often.
It's a straight probiotic. bacteria, right? Or at
Yeah,
least that's what it looked
pretty
like.
much. Pretty much. It's like some shit that grows in a thing, but then like it helps all your things. So like let's keep at it, you know?
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. Just like weed, like you like grow it and like it helps your like body and your soul and stuff.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Exactly like that.
Yeah. So, oh wait, do you guys hear that? Quick news hits. Val, breaking news.
Jim Cornette is angry.
Oh, why?
Well, so like I've been spending the day in bed. I'm not gonna lie. I went to the gym for like an hour of yoga and like 45 minutes of treadmill bullshit. But otherwise, I spent the day in bed. And so all I did was fall down the wormhole that is wrestling Twitter. And
Ooh, that's
Jim-
a fun one.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty good way to spend the day. Jim Cornette is super angry at an indie wrestler who got pretty messed up because he was doing a maneuver, looked like he was doing, geez, I don't even know what it was called, but he basically destroyed himself, and it's pretty brutal. It's, geez, yeah, I don't even know how to describe what he did without making people look, but it basically, I want to say it was Sean Phoenix, I believe. I believe it was Sean Phoenix. I'll have to look into this further, but yeah, he's unbreakable according to his Twitter. It was Sean Phoenix. He suffered a fractured temporal bone, a subdural hematoma, a seizure, dislocated jaw, ruptured eardrum, hearing loss, leaking spinal fluid, vomiting blood, facial paralysis, concussion, double vision, blurred vision, vertigo, and a sprained thumb and a sprained wrist from this like crazy jump 360 off the top rope. He didn't land it. He was trying to go through a table, but the guy that he was wrestling, the timing was off, and it wasn't that guy's fault either. It was a pretty insane maneuver, if you ask me. Disco Inferno's really upset about it. Like, I mean, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, if you can look it up. Jim Cornette, he was pitching a fit today about how modern wrestling is killing the business. And it's like, come on, dude. So that's my news bit. Jim Cornette is angry at Sean Phoenix apparently, but it's a pretty intense and scary maneuver. Yeah, I don't know.
Especially with that type of physical injury, like from the that's just Godspeed, literally.
Here, I'm gonna play. So 20 seconds. Let's see.
Oh God, we're watching it. No!
Oh my God. Okay. So you saw what I just saw, and
Yeah, the front of his head cracked into the concrete
and bounced.
yeah, that's
Oh
pretty
my
insane.
I'm
God.
shocked. So what is he like gonna? Is he like? Does anyone know if he's ever gonna wrestle again or what?
Knowing him, he is definitely going to. From everything that I've read off his Twitter and all the physical therapy and stuff that he's been doing, his intent is to wrestle again. Yes, but Jim Cornette is very angry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I mean, you know what's sad is that like that move, that was an awesome, intense looking move, but as we know, as you know, like every match we see, no matter how quote unquote boring or slow paced it may be, has a dozen moves that can paralyze somebody, but it's all done carefully. It's all done, so but the problem is one mistake happens and people like Cornette say that's it. It's what I mean. It's just like it's kind of like, all right, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
But because it's not just, it doesn't have to be a high, like they didn't have high flying maneuvers, so to speak, in the 80s, but people still got concussions and got paralyzed, and you know what I mean. It's
yeah.
so,
I mean,
yeah.
there's still. I don't want to say his name because Patrick isn't here, but I mean, there's still people that killed their wives and children because of wrestling. So I don't. Just Jim Cornette is angry about being angry, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I respect the gent in some ways. In some ways, I just like got to shake my head and shake my head at him and go, "Come on, dude." So, like on a happier note, the Singh brothers are very excited because their parents, who gave them the WrestleMania ring in 1996, they like held on to it because it was their childhood toy that they gave him for like a present at some point. And today they were able to give their parents their first ever WWE figures to actually put in that ring. So how cute is that? So I gave you the ugly and then I gave you the beautiful. So there you go. There's my wrestling news from wrestling Twitter that I read all day.
That's awesome. There was a similar thing I remember last year when Ty Dillinger, for Christmas, I think it was Ty Dillinger, had his parents opening his toy.
Oh,
Was it him
cool.
or like Zack Ryder?
It was maybe Zack Ryder, but it was one of those guys that just got it, and it was like, man, I can't imagine that feeling. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care either way. Like, I guarantee if I ever become an action figure, Tall Dad is getting like a case of them.
I don't think anybody would want my action figure unless maybe they would if I had each hand holding a bottle of wine and a bottle of vodka. I think then it would be, it would have some value down the line.
Perfect.
That's good. That's good.
Danielle, I will buy your action figure.
Oh,
but only if you tell me some wrestling news right now.
Guess what, folks? Chris Jericho just announced yesterday on December 19th, Rockin' Wrestling Rager at Sea Part 2 is coming. More details to come in January. Whoop, whoop. I hope for the love of the Lord, he does not make it at the end of the year like he did this time, because I would like to go.
Well, I just hope that he doesn't do it the last weekend of October, because if they're going to do Evolution that weekend every year, I mean, it's going to be a bummer that I'll never be able to go.
I know, like just
what's guys? That's the boat. That's the boat.
Oh, I thought you had too much. I thought you had too much kombucha.
I do have the sound. That is the triumphant return of the soundboard, guys. So I'm sorry. That's cool. Yeah, we need a big luxurious room for 4 of us this year.
Oh, we also need some pretty big news from you, Ivan. I hear there's something pretty cool to look at.
So, Christopher Daniels, the fallen angel. Now, this might just last a few days. Right? It might just be because right now everyone's got eyes on everyone related to the Elite, but he is currently a free agent. A lot of people wrestled their quote-unquote last matches for Ring of Honor during Final Battle, which I have results coming up for you guys. And he's already taking independent bookings. But him and SoCal Uncensored were teased to be joining whatever exodus the Elite are a part of, on the latest being the Elite. So he and Kazarian and Scorpio Sky may be going the way of All Elite Wrestling, or once again, whatever the next venture is. What do you guys say? I mean, to me, he is a Ring of Honor lifer. I don't think he'll ever leave.
That's why I sighed, not just because I was also looking at Michelle Obama's thigh-high glitter boots, which are amazing, but because Christopher Daniels, really? It's just like, oh man.
Mm-hmm. So, but let's see. I mean, let me ask you guys something. So he made history like last year when he won the Ring of Honor World title, and he became, what was it, like the oldest person that never went to WWE to win a world title, or some interesting fact of such of a nature like that. Do you ever want to see him in WWE? Because I think he could bring a lot of wisdom and locker room leadership to WWE. But
you mean as like a behind the scenes?
Maybe, yeah, behind the scenes, and maybe the occasional. Imagine, imagine it's like the new general manager of Raw is Christopher Daniels.
We'll talk about that in the recap, because that isn't a position that's available.
That's true. But what do you guys think? Would you ever want to see him make his his last run with WWE?
I don't. Well, if it was behind the scenes, maybe, but I don't know. On camera, I like the characters he has been, and it wouldn't be the same. So if he were to do anything WWE related, I would hope it would just be in the Performance Center landscape.
Well,
I feel like I don't want him anywhere near WWE, because I just think that he's like too important to Ring of Honor in my mind. Like, I think of him as a Ring of Honor staple. It's like, I don't know. He's just been around forever and he means so much to the company. And why can't he be an advisor or some general manager of Ring of Honor? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like I can certainly see him in that role. I'd much rather have him than like Road Dogg. But but you know, I just think like have him contribute and stay on with Ring of Honor and work in that regard when he is ready to hang up his boots, or just come wrestle for freelance wrestling. Just saying.
Or yeah.
Good idea. That's a great idea.
I mean, he's taking independent bookings, right? So
that's true. Very true.
It might show. You might backstage interview him.
Oh man, I'd pee myself. That's cool though.
I would too.
Well, guys, those was that week. That was this week's news hits. You know, every week I do those sound effects, and Pat's like, Simon, I can put the sound effects, and he never does. So
I was just gonna tell you, you know that he has sound effects for that.
Yeah,
But
well,
do you
I'm
think
saving him money.
Okay, but let's pull the camera back. Do you think it's because you do the sound effects that he's
Correct.
just like, I'm not gonna put the extra work into that?
Is art imitating life, or is life imitating art? Who knows? So, guys,
That's my mind getting blown.
So with that said, you know, it is the end of the year. A lot of stuff is we're just kind of waiting for that first week in January. Warrior Wrestling, you know, we got House of the Mouse on January 3rd. You know, you got
January
all types.
2nd, January
2nd for Val's 30th birthday. We got all types of stuff.
30th.
We got all types of stuff going on. But in the meantime, I want you ladies to just grab your carry-on bags and just walk over to New Japan Airlines. We're taking a trip to Korakuen Hall in Tokyo.
Oh my god!
That just
New Japan Pro Wrestling Road to Tokyo Dome, Saturday, December 15th, Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. I'm going to run over these real quick. We have a lot to talk about, guys. First, we had Ren Narita and debuting young boy Tsuaki Kanemitsu versus Shota Umino and Ayato Yoshida, ending up in a 15-minute no contest due to time limit. And once again, just another display of these young lions' strengths. Sho, Yo, and Rocky Romero, otherwise known as Roppongi 3K, defeated Toa Hinare, Tiger Mask, and Jushin Thunder Liger. Another match to warm up the crowd. Hiroki Goto and Tomohiro Ishii defeated Takashi Iizuka and Minoru Suzuki Capone.
Yes.
MSC, as he's called around these parts.
Yeah, yo.
Sonata and Evil defeated Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi of Bullet Club. Then LIJ, the other members of LIJ, Shingo Takagi, Bushi, and Tetsuya Naito defeated El Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Tai Chi. Then we had a big old fat 5-on-5 match of Bullet Club versus Chaos. Taiji Ishimori, Tonga Loa, Tama Tonga, Bad Luck Fale, and the leader Jay White defeating Kushida, Tomoaki Honma, Toru Yano, Togi Makabe, and Kazuchika Okada. And finally, a match that has a scene in it that is so anime, that is so iconic, that there are already paintings and posters being made of this, and that is of Kota Ibushi on his knees, like posing victoriously because he's sure that he just knocked out Will Ospreay, but Will Ospreay is standing behind him, looking at him as to say, I have not fallen yet. And I don't know if you guys have seen this scene. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Val, did you see this clip?
No.
I'll find a clip, but yeah, they both went up to the top rope for a maneuver. I think, let's say, for example, a Hurricane Run. I forget. And he executes, Ibushi executes the move, flips Will Ospreay halfway across the ring, and Ibushi is on one knee facing the crowd, like pouring sweat, and he's like with his fist, like raised, like, yeah, I just knocked this guy out. But Will Ospreay landed on his feet and just slowly turns his head around, and Kota Ibushi slowly turns his head around. They lock eyes, kind of like when the Undertaker would rise after someone body slammed him. Like, oh my God, that didn't do anything to him. It was an amazing moment, and when you see that image, like I said, people are already like selling paintings and renditions of that clip. It's just the cinematography of that clip was amazing. So that was a excellent match, and that will lead us, once again into a few more little house shows, and then Wrestle Kingdom 13 is going to be one for the ages. Ring of Honor Final Battle. I did not watch this show. I have not had time, but I have results. And I have not read the results. So I'm going to be as shocked as all of you as I read them.
Dude, even I know the results.
So Kenny King defeated Eli Isom. I do not know who that is. Val, do you know who Eli Isom is?
Isom? No.
Isom? Is it Isom? I don't know.
I believe it is Isom. I don't
know him. I don't know who that be.
All right. Well, I'm going to look up Eli right now and stalk him out on the interwebs.
Look him up. Then we had the Ring of Honor World TV Championship. Jeff Cobb, the champion, defeated Hangman Page to retain his title. Jeff Cobb is just, man, that guy's going to be, I mean, he's already doing big things, but he's going to do big things. Then
he is big things.
He's big.
He is big things. I like that.
He's big things. Yeah. Then this is a big one. This is what, a year in the making almost. Kelly Klein defeated the now former Ring of Honor Woman of Honor champion Sumi Sakai and Madison Rayne and Karen Q to become the new Woman of Honor champion. Wow, that's huge.
Props to her.
How long did Sakai have that belt? I mean, I know all of this year, right? For the most part.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome. Yeah, so that's cool. So good job, Kelly Klein.
Hey, I just found out that Eli Isom debuted in 2017, and he was raised on a diet of hard work, dedication, and sweet corn on the cob.
So he's Midwestern.
Wait, we have to quote Pat here.
He's from Rensselaer, Indiana.
That's some white people shit.
Absolutely the opposite, but that's okay.
Corn on the cob. So elotes? Corn on the cob with little chili powder?
I'm not sure what his racial. I have no idea.
Oh, it's Eli Isom.
Oh.
Oh my God, that's so racist.
Eli Tom Fernandez.
No.
Indiana, guys. So
Indiana, Mexico.
Corn.
Indiana, Mexico.
Indiana.
No.
Hold on. Do I have it? Do I have the soundboard? Oh my God! Please tell me I have this. I have this sound.
That's racist.
Do I have the sound? Here we go.
Oh my God!
You are fucking terrible.
From Indiana, Mexico.
He's not from Indiana, Meg. He's from Rensselaer, Indiana. Northwest Indiana.
Jack Baber Jr. defeated Jonathan Gresham. We had Matt Taven defeating Dalton Castle. And also, rumor has it that Dalton Castle has just been courted by WWE.
But they don't know if the boys are coming with, and that's so weird.
No boys, no deal.
Yeah.
Agreed. No boys, no dub.
Rights to the Ring of Honor World Title match. Marty Scurll defeated Christopher Daniels. Marty Scurll is being propelled into the main event scene. More coming about Marty Scurll too. Then, in an I Quit match, this has been brewing for months as well because Bully Ray has been terrorizing Flip Gordon. Flip Gordon defeated Bully Ray, aka Bubba Ray, in an I Quit match. What do you know? Flip Gordon.
What are you gonna do? That Flip Gordon.
His mother told me he's a smart kid.
He used to think the world was flat until he went to Australia. Now he knows it's round. Everybody makes mistakes.
That Bully Ray.
Did you know it's Eli Isom because it's what his what his Twitter says? His Twitter handle is Eli Isom. Oh,
I've got my eye on him.
Oh my God, this is the best podcast ever.
He is one to watch.
Ring of Honor World Championship. Jay Lethal, the champion, defeated Cody to retain his title. This was Cody's quote unquote final match in Ring of Honor. That's pretty crazy. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Then we had the Ring of Honor World Tag. I copied this from some site, and it says Ring of Honor World Tag Championship ladder match. So unless that's a new title, tag. The Briscoes defeated Scorpios.
With the Briscoes being involved, I believe it is a tag. It's officially a tag.
There we go. They defeated SoCal Uncensored and the Young Bucks. To steal the belts from SoCal to become tag champions. I mean, how many times have they had these belts at this point?
I think 9.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't it 9?
I don't know.
Also, I think it's tag because they defeated 2 tag teams to win.
Oh,
is that for real? I mean, is that a typo or is that a thing?
I don't know. I think it's a typo.
I really don't know.
But that
tag.
It does work though.
Yeah, well, I'm a lyrical master.
So from now on, however many teams are in it, that's how many times the word tag.
Tag.
Now, on a sidebar, a few days later, there were tapings, Ring of Honor TV tapings, in which now they had a soft debut in Australia a few weeks back. But there was a official taped, and I have some questions for you, Val, about this. A taped debut of Marty Scurll's new stable. Now that the Elite are
Villain
gone.
Incorporated,
Villain Enterprises.
Oh yeah, Enterprise.
Same thing.
Enterprise. Yeah.
Villain Enterprises Incorporated, where he debuted Brody King, who you've been talking about all year.
Love him.
And then PCO.
Yes.
So, okay. The wrestling that I watched started in the Attitude Era. So I completely missed PCO in the WWF.
What?
I did not. I was not aware of him until Danielle and I saw this, and I was like, PCO, who is this guy? And I didn't realize that he's been around for a long time.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then Brody King. I mean, so okay, how big, Val? Because I don't know much. Like I said, I don't know much, especially about AAW. How big of a deal is it that Brody King debuted in this high-profile stable?
I think it's huge. I think it's absolutely huge. I think it's honestly, to be even more frank, I think it's even bigger than PCO did because. Yeah. He started wrestling in 1987. I don't even think that Brody King was alive.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy has been wrestling a long ass time. I was 8 years old when he started wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, this is a big deal for him to be signed, I think. I mean, the Quebecers, like, how do you not know the Quebecers, by the way? But
well, like I said, that was like, I mean, think about it.
Like 93, though. Wait, when did you start watching?
No, I started my first episode of WW anything was when Triple H
fucked up.
Married himself to Stephanie McMahon while Test the first cuckold in history watched it happen. Yeah, that's
fucked up. That's so late.
Now, growing up, I knew about Hogan and Bret Hart, and I knew about it from but I never watched a single episode. No one in my family watched it, and that's just it just never happened. So with that said, I was like, oh yeah, that was before my time. I mean, that was in a very important time, but therefore before my time. But so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean that's pretty exciting. So Villain Enterprises, they're feuding with the Kingdom right now. So let's see what comes of that, guys. So, well, oh my God.
Whoa, please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die.
Shall we pivot into the land of McMahon?
Oh God.
Actually, we're going to pivot into Triple H land?
No, I think we should go to the land of tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes.
Oh,
so yes.
Oh, yeah. All of our notes are all over the place. Good, good points.
Okay.
Where are you, Patrick? We need Patrick.
What part of Disney World would TLC be?
Well, I kind of want to say Animal Kingdom because like those ladies went crazy on each other, but I also feel like Epcot Center.
Because it's like all the nations.
United. And, like metal and like the future and Like, there's lots of tables you could break, and, like, yeah, there's all the chairs at World Showcase, and, like, I feel like definitely Charlotte Flair would do a moonsault off of Spaceship Earth, which is, like, the giant golf ball. I feel like she would definitely do that.
Is
So
that
I
what it's called? I always thought I was there when I was a youngin. I always thought the big golf ball was just called Epcot Center.
No, Epcot Center is the name of the theme park that the
Oh,
big
okay.
golf ball resides at the very front of, but it's actually called Spaceship Earth, and there's a ride inside
Yeah,
that
I remember
Judi
that.
Dench narrates. It's fucking crazy.
Okay.
I'll send you postcards from the future next time I'm there in 11 days
Well, damn,
because I have a problem.
that's crazy. I just thought about how crazy. Yeah, within 30 days. So, okay, so I'm gonna start at the kickoff
You-
show of TLC.
His
We
head,
had
like popped off just now.
Well,
Huh?
just like really, do you want to spend your birthday in the freezing cold or at the happiest place on earth?
go once a month. I mean, I think that's awesome. I'm just
No,
like,
I
holy
can't
crap.
afford that. This is like,
Oh,
it's just because this is a big one. You know, you only turn 40 once in theory until you turn 80, then you've turned 40 twice, but still.
hey, man, that
You just again another
man.
reason. His brain is exploded today.
Hey,
Okay.
man,
Patrick,
I've had too much of
Patrick,
this. I've had too much of this triple dick flip, man. You're making me.
Amazing.
So during the kickoff show, this is a travesty to have this in the kickoff match. Buddy Murphy defeated Cedric Surprise Alexander to keep
We're still
the
calling him
cruiser-
that.
the Cruiserweight Championship match. Val, thoughts on this? Did you watch this match?
The kickoff match?
Yeah.
No, I just watched recap of it. I honestly didn't watch that.
Danielle, I know you didn't watch it because you were at work. I saw some clips. I didn't start watching until after this, but I saw some clips.
I was at the Bears game, so let's just
Oh.
put it that way. I didn't
okay.
see the kickoff match, but I watched the rest of it at the bar right next to Nice Lounge.
Oh, okay. What's it called?
Greystone?
I'll call them next time you're there. Well, I'm just gonna call on a Tuesday, a random Tuesday. Is Val there?
No, I don't watch SmackDown there. I only watch.
He told me to call there every time I'm looking for her. Okay. So
They'll be
then,
like, no, it's not a pay per view. Why would she be here?
So I'm glad Buddy Murphy is keeping his title. I want that title to regain some value after Amore Gate.
Blech.
Then we had a ladder kickoff match.
Mm.
Elias came out, did some music. Bobby Lashley came out. Leo Rush came out. They talked some smack. And Elias ended up defeating Bobby Lashley, but Lashley still grabbed the guitar and still shattered it on Elias. And unlike the Jeff Jarrett guitars, these look like they're not meant to break on human skin, and it just looked unpleasant.
Yeah, it was rough.
Then, you know what? I like where this went. The mixed match challenge finals. It ended with R-Truth and Carmella. I really like this team defeating Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox to win not only the 30th place in their respective Royal Rumble matches,
but big old trip. They're not going to Disney World. They're going to
they got to pick Stamford, Connecticut. They got to choose a trip to anywhere in the world, and Carmella was like, "Where are we going? Somewhere tropical?" And he's like, "We're going to Stamford." And so I'm assuming they're gonna fight and no longer be a team now because she's.
Or maybe they're gonna get fired because why else would you go there? They're gonna be wished well on their future endeavors.
That would be the funniest way to do it. Look, I got a note from the boss saying we wish you well in your future endeavors. Where are we going to go in the future? But yeah, I think that was a really, for Carmella to go from the most hated woman on earth this year to go to like just an awesome babyface it's great. It's really funny.
I'm super stoked about it because now that she's not Squawky McSquawks a lot, like I really like her because she's really fun and she's getting better at wrestling. Not the best wrestler out there, but she's getting much better and she's just fun. And I like her being fun rather than I didn't care for Vicky Guerrero. I don't need the second coming of Vicky Guerrero in the form of Carmella.
Yeah. Then a match that, and like I said, this is not a knock on their talents, but I don't know. I just kind of tuned out during this match. It was the Bar, the current champions, defeating the Usos and the New Day, and I just feel like, I think we talked about this last week, is that no matter who won from these three teams, it's just more of the same, and the Bar retained. Good match all around, but I don't know what Danielle. I know you didn't watch that match. Any thoughts on it?
No,
Val, any thoughts on
Um,
I have zero thoughts.
I feel like that's when me and my girlfriends all became boys to men. And we started dancing to Boys to Men, ABC, BBD, the East Coast Family. And there's like a gif of us dancing. I feel like it was during that match. So
not to the end of the road.
no. I'll
I would
forward.
think that would be a ballad for this. That would be the perfect ballad for this match.
I will forward this to the schedule for one fall so you can watch me and my friends dancing to the bar, defeating the Usos in the New Day.
I just like any of these. So all three of these groups have brought such a prestige to the Raw tag team division. Or I'm sorry, to the SmackDown tag team division, that they can just drop the belt to someone who needs it. They don't need these. I don't know. They just something needs to come of this year.
Well, here's the thing though. Like, this is why I didn't like the brand split, because this is what happens every single time. They're constantly only wrestling the same like 3 to 4 tag teams. I mean, what are they going to give it to the Colognes? Are they even going to use the Colognes? You know what I mean? Like, this is what happens when you have definitive brand split.
And Val's, it's pronounced colons, by the way.
Sorry, you would think you would think the girl with Crohn's would know that by now, since I'm missing most of mine. But no, the colons. You would think that they would give them the title, but nobody wants them to have it. Nope.
No, I definitely don't.
You know, I mean, it's like when you have the same 4 tag teams that wrestle. I mean, who else are they going to wrestle? You know, they're going to wrestle Gallows and Anderson. They're going to maybe go up against Sanity. So that's what, 5 tag teams? Because the Fashion Police are no more right now, while Fandango is on the shelfo. You know, I mean, who else are they going to wrestle? Rollins and, well, I guess they're not even on SmackDown, so never mind.
I know. Like, I guess. Yeah, I mean, well, once again, we'll get into that too. But yeah, Gallows, Anderson, and Sanity will bring a little bit of freshness to this. But
then again, that's only 5 tag teams to wrestle each other every single week. So it's going to get stale. It's going to get boring. But yeah.
Well, then we had the one of 2 TLC matches of the show. Braun Strowman defeating Baron Corbin, and this was like this and what happened on Raw were just literally the same exact thing. Where Braun came out, he was injured, so he quote unquote shouldn't have been wrestling. So instead, he's like, "Well, I've got a few other people that can help me out." And Rude and Gable and Rude came out. Apollo came out, and I forgot who else came out, but and they all just started antagonizing and attacking Baron Corbin. Braun Strowman came in, I punched him once or something, and then Heath Slater, took off his ref shirt, beat the hell out of Baron Corbin, and then counted him out 1, 2, 3. Therefore, cementing Braun Strowman's match against Brock Lesnar for the title coming up soon, and firing Baron Corbin from his GM position. So it was fun. It was cool. It set up Monday, but then as you'll get into, Val, it just kind of repeated all over again.
Like literally that exact match.
Yeah, exactly. So then we had a decorated
there was like big heads,
life-size standee plastered on a table.
No, but they were like even standees. They were like big heads. They were like sticky things that you put on the wall.
Yeah. Oh, well, it was Natty defeating Ruby Riott. And now, Val, do you think this was a good ending, or at least a good climax to this feud? And was it worth all of the insulting of Jim the Anvil Neidhart's death?
I don't think it was worth dragging his dead corpse through the ring a million times. I think they also the WWE suddenly became very, very into Jim the Anvil Neidhart, which when he was dealing with his issues that you could see on Total Divas, I didn't really see WWE like parading him around then, but since he just died and they turned it into an angle, they kind of grossly paraded him around, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like suddenly, after Liv Morgan got her head kicked in, suddenly she's such a good wrestler. Well, suddenly now that they need an angle and he passed away, now they're using him as an angle. And it was just, I don't know. I'm very close to my dad. And so I just feel like that had to have been so hard for Natty to do. And she is such a damn team player. And I don't know. I mean, I thought it was unnecessary. I'm kind of glad that this feud is over. And I hope that they like leave him alone and treat him as like with respect as he deserves and let Natty just wrestle for her and not because she's his daughter. I don't know. It just seemed like really trashy. And as somebody that's really close to my dad, I don't know that I could do that. But also I would understand that he probably would want her to do whatever to make the show the best for fans. I just don't know that it's the best for fans because it seemed really tacky and trashy and kind of gross. And it's like a pretty serious misuse of Ruby Riot's talent, I think. Just making her look like a cheap pop kind of girl, which she is not. So I don't know.
Well, I forget what that film studies, not theory, but what it's called, where it's kind of like a is this sexist test when you analyze an important scene in a movie of two females talking and it says, is a man involved in this discussion or not? And it's kind of like you have these two very technical talents, and yet you just have to involve this guy. How many times were Ric Flair dragged into feuds that Charlotte was involved in? It's like, why? There's enough there already.
Right. Like there's already enough talent there. And again, they weren't parading him around as this legend while he was still with us. You weren't celebrating him in that way while he was around. Why are you doing that when he's dead? That's like gross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
it's like even the whole Big Boss Man, like the Big Show, like taking Big Boss Man's dad's casket. I mean, obviously he wasn't in it,
right?
But like that whole thing, it's just like, man, why? And then the Eddie Guerrero thing, we were talking about that last week. The Eddie Guerrero thing, like Eddie's burning in hell right now. Like, jeez, really?
Oh, I thought you meant the Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio for custody of Dominic.
That was bad too.
I mean, but here's the thing: is like I thought after being at Evolution that maybe the company had evolved a little bit, that the E stood for evolved, but I was wrong. And I mean, they still have glimmers of the trashiest thing in business, but I also, maybe if it wasn't like a dead dad and daughter situation, it wouldn't have fazed me so much. But it like bummed me out, especially knowing, as you said, how technically talented both these wrestlers are. Why is there got to be a guy involved? Why does it have to be your dead dad? Why is that the only thing that this feud is centered on, as opposed to, I'm Ruby Riot, I'm here to start a riot. You've been here almost the longest of any female in the business. I'm here to destroy you and tear you down to show you that the new kids have some tricks that y'all old dogs ain't never gonna learn. Like, why not do that? You know what I mean? As opposed to like, here's your dead father. Like, what?
I went to Kinko's and I printed this, and they asked me what am I going to use it for? And I said, don't even ask. I needed to have an adhesive backing as well.
Yes, stat.
And I needed to break easily right down the middle. So that was that. Then we had Finn Balor defeating Drew McIntyre, and it's called the Battle of the Bulge.
Oh my God. Can I watch that match all day?
And the only reason
sign me up.
the only reason this happened is because Dolph Ziggler interrupted, therefore cementing the breakup of McIntyre and Ziggler, and then causing a feud with Balor and Ziggler because Balor's like, I don't need your help.
Oh, what is that accent? Oh, I don't need your accent either.
That was a clip I just played of Finn Balor talking.
Was that trying to be like Scottish?
That was then.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Chairs match. Rey Mysterio defeated Randy Orton using one of the coolest, most innovative slides out, like skiing or sledding,
legit
sledding out of the ring onto Randy Orton, and it was just the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That was the only reason why I didn't absolutely yawn at this whole match, because I was like, "What decade am I watching?
Yeah,
why why are there 12 matches? I'm going to go do more shots of Malort. And then I saw that and I was like, I'm going to do another shot of Malort.
Yeah. So it's then the Raw Women's Championship match, Ronda Rousey retaining against Nia Jax. Nia Face Puncher Jax. To be followed
face breaker.
To be followed
puncher
to be followed by her and Tamina walking out backstage sadly, and Becky Lynch coming out of nowhere and be like, remember when you broke my face?
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Keep the name out of your mouth. And then she beat the hell out of Nia Jax. So
are you having a seizure?
It was like Irish and Canadian all together.
Hey, you remember when you broke my face, eh? So what did you think? Now, Danielle, did you watch any clips of this?
I watched clips.
I forget what time you started watching. I think you started watching like at the last match. And what did you think? What do you think?
I don't care.
You don't care, Val? What did you think of this?
I will say that you might not care, but the entire bar was going crazy during this match. And keep in mind, this was up against Sunday Night Football in a bar that generally is a Minnesota Vikings bar. Like it's like they're a Vikings bar, which is gross, but whatever. I love Shayna Baszler, so I'll support it. But like it was Sunday Night Football, yet everybody was focused on this match and like screaming and running around. I think I did the splits after Ronda won. I mean, it was
where's this footage?
Yeah, it's somewhere. I just don't think y'all want to see it. At least I don't want you guys to see it.
Anyway, you can just slide into my DMs, okay? We'll talk.
Girl back. I gotta say that one of my girlfriends, who is a pretty big sports fan, doesn't care much for wrestling. She supports it because she supports me, but she's not really into wrestling. She was like, after the final match of the night. First off, this match is what started her into it, because she was kind of mad with Natty and Ruby, and she was like, why are those people on the table, and what's up with this guy that they keep bringing up? But she's definitely into wrestling now. So
is this Connie?
Pardon?
Connie?
No.
Oh, didn't you have a friend a few weeks ago that was you got into wrestling? I thought her name was Connie. Or then again, I'm just making up a woman's name.
Connie Payton. Yep, I got Connie Payton into wrestling. No. No, it's my girlfriend Shakia. Shake.
I'm gonna go back to that old episode and find out what the name was. But go on. Shout out to.
Yeah, Shake is awesome. She's a Nisei regular. She's part of the Nisei fam.
Wait, is she the infamous camera lady?
No. That's Shonda.
Oh, that's her.
Shout out to Shonda.
Shout out and much love to Shonda. Shut up, Patrick.
So Shake is in there. Okay, so Rousey continues to stop the doubters. I don't know why there are any doubters, but what do you think about the dynamic with her and Nia Jax?
I just thought the whole match was really good. I was thoroughly entertained by it. I had no problems with it whatsoever.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I just do I want to see her go against somebody else now? Of course I do, because how many times are you going to go up against the same wall and try to beat its face in? You know what I mean? But
I just, like, so right now, I mean, I was watching that match and I'm like, they clearly made it, the old David versus Goliath, like there's some of the small and fast, and that makes sense, right? It's simple ring psychology. There's someone bigger and more lumbering. You're going to tire them out. But I think they told Nia, look really slow in the ring and make it take forever to swing a punch, and when you swing that punch, you're left vulnerable for about 5 seconds. Like they played into that too much, like as if she has zero reflexes.
Well, but here's the thing: she does do these really deliberate hits, and the last time she went in any way other than that slow and lumbering effect, she fucking broke Becky Lynch's face with a shoot punch.
So maybe
Yeah, I think her timing isn't, and this is one of the things that I've said about her from like the day one of her call up. She doesn't have the world's best timing because she's very, very new to this craft, but she's so improved and she's still working on it. And she's a really good wrestler in my mind. But Ronda, even though she's new to professional wrestling, she has been in martial arts for virtually her lifetime. So while this method of combat may be new to her, the simple art of throwing punches and taking hits and receiving hits and that's not new to her. That's second nature to her. Woo! I mean, it's like it's still kind of new to Nia Jax though. So that might be why she looks like she's walking in quicksand 2/3 of the time. Because it's not just a David Goliath, which I totally agree with you. And I also find it fascinating that they're like, here's Tamina and everyone should be scared, which they should because she's second generation badass. But she was also on the shelf for a while. So she's kind of shaking up the ring rust as well. But I don't know. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was a good story. Anytime Ronda Rousey jumps on a back of somebody and starts trying to go buck wild on their neck, it just makes me smile.
Yeah. But no, there were a few. Yeah. There were like anytime she just tried to lock on an arm bar, the crowd went insane. I can only imagine the bar.
Oh yeah, I mean, people were like flipping over tables and like throwing drinks at each other. Like it was crazy.
That's amazing.
It was mayhem. I tell you.
Well,
puppies.
No puppies. No.
No, I was talking to my dog.
Oh,
or the puppy pound, which that phrase belongs in.
Well, then we had the WWE Championship match, a match that a year ago, let alone 5-10 years ago, if you said this match was going to happen, it'd be like, oh my God, WrestleMania? Is it the WrestleMania main event? Daniel Bryan defeating AJ Styles to retain the WWE Championship. It was, it was long.
The new Daniel Bryan.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, the new Daniel Bryan defeating AJ Styles. It was nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. But I think they told him, hey, guys, go long and, help break up the show a little bit. I like, these are amazing performers. And I think, I think it was just a good match. It was just it did what it needed to do. What did you think, Val?
It was really long. I definitely had time to go to the bar and get a couple more pints of Guinness, and because I really needed them, and order some, buffalo cauliflower, and I was like, damn, this match is still going.
Yeah.
It was awesome because it's like these are two of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but there was something missing, and I can't figure out what it is. And I don't know if it's because the Bears beat the Packers, so I was way focused on that, or I was like, oh my God, is the SmackDown Women's Championship actually going to be the main event? Because I had no idea because I was at the Bears-Packers game, so I didn't hear any announcements. But there was something lackluster about this match for me, which is shocking because I love and respect both these performers so much. So,
Well, then, speaking of long matches, we got into, once again, two huge talents. Dean Ambrose defeating Seth Rollins to become the new Intercontinental Champion, complete with a blue Bane coat.
Oh yeah,
looks beautiful. It looks amazing. Once again, I know even if it is boring, I never want the crowd to chant "This is boring" because that's a huge insult. But it was same thing. They said we want you guys to slow down and make a long match because this women's match is going to be insane and we want people to save their energy. So with that said, I thought it was good. There were some cool spots. I think it told a good story. Val, what did you think of this match?
Same as the last match, same as it ever was. I mean, it was again, I don't know. I was bored by it, and I feel like such a bitch because I was so bored by it. But also, I was like foaming at the mouth waiting for the next match because this is me starting tailgating at 9 a.m. with Candy Cane Malort. This is me at almost 10 p.m. after lots of Candy Cane Malorts and Bears beating the Packers and watching Ronda beat the shit out of Nia and Natalia crap on Ruby and you know what I mean? So I was all riled up, and I didn't give a shit about the boys at this point. I was like, somebody wake me when this is over. I think I was doing push-ups at this point.
Oh man.
There was a point where I was doing push-ups and I was doing split jumps in the bar.
This sounds crazy. Sounds like a Van Halen video.
Dude, there's a reason why I've been in bed for 4 days, and Sunday might have been it.
So, well, we had the main.
It's a Van Halen video. That's my life.
Right?
Only green M&Ms.
The song "Jump" playing, and so yeah. Then the first ever SmackDown Women's Championship Triple Threat TLC match in history. We had the champion Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, and Becky Lynch lost the title due to Asuka running up the ladder and grabbing the belt.
No. She lost it because her and Charlotte were going toe-to-toe on the ladder about ready to reach the belt. And old girl Rhonda came out and pushed that ladder over. And Asuka said, fuck all y'all, and climbed up the other ladder and took the belt.
Stupid Americans.
she totally did. She was like,
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
I love it when she gets all guttural with her R rolling. Oh, it's so sexy.
But she capitalized on that. And like we predicted last week, is that this is the best outcome. Once again,
Absolutely.
just like Natty and Ruby, they don't need a title, they don't need a reason to fight. But Asuka can definitely use that. And that's great. So I'll let you take this away. Tell us about this match. How was the crowd in the bar? What insanity ensued during this match? What were the high points?
I feel like I came as close to naked as I could legally without getting arrested in public. Because I was like sweating and like ripping my clothes off and like crying and like, yeah, alcohol. But all of the females in the bar were like, holy shit, this is what women's wrestling is now. And I'm like, ladies, welcome to being a lady, Mark. And it was just so exciting. And people were just like losing their minds. Becky did so great for her first big match back. Charlotte, oh my God, when she came out dressed like Malibu Charlotte, oh my God, she looked like goddamn like a Barbie princess. Oh, in the color pink. Oh my God, she was so great. Like everybody, even the dudes were freaking out at her ensemble. And just like, she is so hardcore. And anybody that gives me shit for being such a Charlotte mark clearly has never actually paid attention to a single match she's been in since 2012, because she has improved leaps and bounds and bounds and leaps. And it's not just the, superfluous moonsaults or whatever. She is amazing. And Asuka actually had a really awesome match, I thought, as well. Some people are kind of pissed, or I've been hearing murmurs that people are pissed that she got it. And I'm like, do you forget who she is just because WWE wants you to forget who she was? Like, they don't act like NXT exists, except for the couple of times a year that they bring people up from it. But she was the most dominating force in wrestling, period. And so to have her win the belt, I thought it was a great way. It protected Ronda, it protected Becky and Charlotte, and it gave them a little bit more to heat up against each other. It gave the possibility of a Charlotte, Becky, Ronda Mania main event. I will seriously need to bring a change of underwear if that happens. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. It was the best Christmas present that this Jew could ever have been given. It was so good. Like, McMahon Claus, thank you so much. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I have zero negatives to say. Like, the crowd freaked out when Becky came out. The crowd freaked out when Charlotte came out. The crowd freaked out when Asuka came out. And the crowd freaked out when Ronda came out. It was wrestling at its finest. It was perfect.
Awesome. Well, so with that said, overall, good second half of the show, but a lot of great moments sprinkled throughout. So shall we dive? So we're at the less than an hour to go mark. We've had a lot already to cover. So shall we discuss NXT and then go into the rest of WWE? What do you guys think?
Well, I could just go through Raw and SmackDown pretty quickly.
Let's do that.
If you'd like, because it ties mainly into TLC, and then and then we'll bookend it with actually good wrestling. So, just saying. So
since Pat isn't here and he may not put sound effects, here we go. All right, Val, give me about 5 seconds. Okay, here we go.
That's longer than 5 seconds.
I know, right?
What the fuck just
I
happened?
think
was the
that's supposed to
Raw.
be the Raw
That was the Raw
musical
intro.
Oh,
entrance.
You weren't doing the no chance in
Oh,
hell.
no.
Because I mean,
Oh no, I was doing the Raw intro, the older one, but I guess I should have done that one too.
yeah, you should have done the Vinnie Mac no chance in hell because he and the McMahon family, which apparently I didn't realize it was Hunter Hearst McMahon. Maybe he's only double H, but yeah, including Triple H, come out to proclaim that in this new era, the era of change, they will listen to the fans from now on, which was really exciting, but also, yeah, no. Kurt Angle, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Apollo Crews defeat Baron Corbin via pinfall in a no DQ match. Whoa, did you see it last night on TLC? Because I sure did. So then Finn Balor defeats Dolph Ziggler because he's angry about things via disqualification. Nobody cares about the rules when they're angry. The Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge was issued by Dean Ambrose, and guess who answered the call? Tyler! And it was really exciting to see him get that medium pop that he got, but then all of a sudden the crowd went deadly silent, and eventually Dean Ambrose retained the championship via pinfall. Elias got his sweet revenge on Bobby Booty Lashley by smashing a guitar on his back, and nobody cared. WWE announces 5 NXT call-ups as they also mentioned excuse me, the 2 major returns of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Guess what, Ivan? You're going to get to talk about Lacey Evans every single week on the main roster.
Wait, pause. Pause for commentary.
Is that his butt?
Go on.
That's like a Tina Belcher moan.
Also, Heavy Machinery, that's cool. And Lars Sullivan, which we already knew. Nikki Cross, which we were already waiting for. And EC3, Aunt Dixie says, congratulations. So then, Raw Tag Team Championship #1 contendership between the B Team, Authors of Pain, I'm sorry, AOP, and Lucha House Party against the Revival. But guess what? No Lucha House Party rules allowed. So the Revival ended up defeating all of y'all with the Shatter Machine for the pin. In the main event, the very best match, go figure, it was the ladies match. It was a Raw Women's Championship #1 contendership. We started out early on with Alicia Fox versus Bailey. And I was like, holy shnikes, she's going to go all the way because she's from San Jose. Oh, wait, that means she's going to lose terribly because she's from San Jose. So Alicia Fox got defeated by Bailey, as did Dana Brooke. But then Bailey lost to, it was a gauntlet match. So Bailey got defeated by Mickie James. James was defeated by Ember Moon. Moon was defeated by Natalya. Ruby Riott also was defeated by Natalya. And so was Sasha Banks. So there you go. So Natalya is going to be facing her BFF for life, Ronda Rousey, on Christmas, if I'm not mistaken.
And they filmed that They filmed them the same night, right?
Yes, which, Jesus fuck, had I known that, I would have gone out to San Jose because that's like, actually, never mind. That would be like 6 hours of Raw, and I'd maybe wouldn't have come home.
Wait, how are they keeping spoilers?
They're not. I already know all the results, but it's fine.
Okay.
You know what? I knew the Titanic sank, and I still saw that movie 4 times in the theater. Whatever. Speaking of ship sinking, let's talk about SmackDown Live. So it opens with a roster pep rally in the back, alerting everybody to the new era, courtesy of Shane. Shane reminding people that Paige will not be going anywhere, but her role will change. Did you hear the way he introduced her? He said, as your formal general manager.
Oh, no.
So not former general manager, but formal general. Like, dude, get the fuck out of town. Anyway, so nobody knows. Paige didn't even know what was happening. She found out on the way there that she was losing her job in that regard, but she's still staying on board. They just don't know. They haven't announced yet how. So Becky Lynch, of course, is the first person in the ring because the man doesn't listen to anybody. Charlotte and Asuka also take to the ring. Mr. McMahon gets all sorts of pissy about the conversation that they're having. Charlotte all in black, Becky all in black. I just always find that fascinating. Are they trying to like push them as heels because of that? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like normally they dress far more vibrant, but Becky is all in black these days. So is Charlotte. Asuka, however, looking lovely with that title around her waist. So Charlotte and Becky were expecting a title shot going to them. Instead, it went to Naomi, who looked amazing against Asuka. several times that Naomi got out of the Asuka lock wasn't put on completely, but in the end, that actually is what forced the submission so that Asuka could retain the title. But good showing by Naomi. It's kind of nice dynamic considering they were like besties a week or two ago. Interesting to see. Anyway, so can I just say that Vince McMahon plus The Miz equals thank you, wrestling gods, for more early Christmas presents because they were hilarious. And if you can, just go back and watch the clip between the two of them. Miz knocking on the door, and it just the whole thing is really funny. I can't even explain it. Just go watch it. Also hilarious. Rusev telling us what a true superstar he is and how his beard could be sold to be made into sweaters for all the babies. What? This actually happened. I wasn't even drunk. I haven't drank
he believes that too.
Yeah.
I think he believes it because it's true. Like he says that he's got big biceps and he's so handsome and all this. It was just hilarious and amazing. And Lana never looked prouder. They walk off mic. Next thing you know, he calls Nakamura. He goes, "Look at how Nakamura looks these days. He looks like Sonic the Hedgehog." Like, what? I was like, oh my God. And then, of course, Shinsuke comes back and smack talks Rusev, just basically making fun of him and showing all these amazing clips of him on Total Divas, which basically he just made me fall more in love with Rusev. So sorry, Shinsuke, it backfired. But yeah, he ended up calling him Diva. They're going to go toe to toe for the U.S. title also next week on Tuesday, the 26th. I know the outcomes, but I won't ruin it for anybody. Either way, I'm happy about it. Then we have Samoa Joe, who starts out with an apology to Jeff Hardy, but basically it turns into an intervention really quickly. Jeff Hardy turns around, Samoa's intervention, and beats the shit out of him. Boom, they're done. So back when McMahon and Miz were talking, Miz was looking to get Shane McMahon's tag team partnership and get a blessing from Mr. McMahon. And McMahon's like, I don't do that, but I will give you a partner tonight of my choosing for a tag team match later on in the evening. And guess what? It's Mandy Rose, which Corey Graves is starting to really irritate me, like more so than just his weird hand holdy thing that he does, like trying to look all intense and thoughtful. He's like the modern day Jerry the King Lawler, and nobody seems to notice because they think he's so cool. All he does is talk about how Mandy Rose is a gift from the gods and like how her body looks, and it's just kind of gross, and it bums me out because he's not that bad of a commentator, but now he's kind of on my hit list. Anyway, I truly believe that they picked Mandy Rose simply so that R-Truth, who along with Carmella faced The Miz and Mandy Rose, would call her Maurice. I really do. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna wrestle Miz and Maurice," but it's actually Mandy Rose, R-Truth. But Miz was able to help he and Mandy defeat R-Truth and Carmella, taking Truth out with the skull crushing finale. It was a short little match, but it was pretty fun. Included a dance break. It was like the light-hearted comedy match, I guess you could say. Then there was kind of a boring, but then it got better match between the Usos and the Good Brothers. It ended in a no contest thanks to the involvement of Sanity, which I was kind of like, where the fuck is Sanity? They called them up. Where are they? So basically Sanity just destroys the Usos and Gallows and Anderson, and they start to walk away as the bar comes, is coming down. The bar like avoid them at all costs. It was crazy. But then they decide to go in and chew up the scraps left in the ring, basically. And then the main event, which holy shnikes, like don't act like y'all weren't freaking out too. It was Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, that's a huge. Like, I mean, it's
our
official.
Highlight.
It's official.
So, the new Daniel Bryan, the current WWE champion, with Andrade Cien Almas against the face that runs the place, AJ Styles, and Chicago's own Mustafa Ali. I mean, like it took my breath away. Like when they put that graphic up, I literally like I couldn't believe it. I mean, of course I could because he's amazing. But this was such a great match. Did you guys watch this match?
I only watched this last like 5 minutes of it.
Oh yeah, so you saw the 450 on Daniel Bryan's neck, and then he apologized.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a sick match overall. AJ Styles, it was so great. I'm so proud of Mustafa Ali. Like he did so wonderful. go back and watch this entire match. It's really good. And it also showcased, not to like downplay Cien Almas at all, because Andrade Cien Almas is such an underused talent. Like, it was phenomenal. It was just such a good match. I mean, I watched it again tonight with my sister from another Mr. Arrow Swift. We sat and watched it, and I was just freaking out the whole time. It was just so great. The whole entire match. The fact that Ali pinned Daniel Bryan, that's mind blowing. Like, for the win. Like, what? Like, what? Could you even imagine? Like, I couldn't imagine if I pinned Charlotte for a win. Like, what? Like, what? I can't even talk right now. So, yeah, overall, that was SmackDown. It was decent. 205 Live, there was a bunch of matches with a bunch of dudes that used to wrestle with Mustafa Ali. Hideo Itami versus Noam Dar. Itami with the win. Daivari almost cost he and Itami their jobs. Drake Maverick and Buddy Murphy are the best of friends. Buddy wants to beat up everybody to prove that he's the best. Aaron Solo versus Leo Rush. Rush for the win, but nice appearance by Solo. Do you guys know who that is?
No.
He's not just a jobber, guys. He's actually a really good wrestler on the indie scene. And he's also dating one of the WWE superstars, who is everybody's favorite hugger. They're actually engaged. Yeah, they're actually engaged. No, but he's a really good wrestler. And I hate calling him Mr. Bailey because that like discredits his chops. Like, he's a really good wrestler. So I don't know if he's going to be on 205 on the regular or just because they were filming on the West Coast and that's where they're from. But anyway, yeah. So he lost to Leo Rush. Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick take on Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher, and the Faces won. So there you go.
On Kendrick with new shaved beard.
Yeah, fancy new Kendrick.
Nice. That's good. Are you liking the direction 205 Live has taken?
Yeah, I mean, I really have enjoyed 205 Live since day one. I remember watching it, 205 Live a couple times. And one of the times was in Seattle, and like 2/3 of the crowd left. And I was shocked.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was so upsetting. I mean, I don't know. I think that they're phenomenal athletes, but people just aren't connecting with them. I don't know if it's because they don't get enough time. I don't know if it's because they're like, oh, those guys are little. It's like, well, Finn Balor is 190 pounds, so shut the hell up. But
is the general man is Drake Maverick still general manager of 205 Live, or did they get rid of all the general managers?
No. He's still so far he's still the general manager of 205 Live. So
yeah, I it's one of the 205 is one of the shows I keep every week. I'm like, oh, I should watch it. I just don't end up doing it. But yeah, it looks like I'm glad they're doing good stuff.
So the thing I love about 205 Live is there's lots of high flying action, but there's also very smart and intelligent wrestling. Like, it's not just gratuitous dives left and right. Like, they play off each other in such a way that it makes sense that there are lots of dives, but it's not just, oh, we're going to dive into a crowd of people again. You know what I mean? Like, every 5 seconds. Plus, also, it's only an hour. If even that. It's not even an hour. It's just under an hour. So it's very feasible to watch it when I'm at the gym on the treadmill, or if I'm like doing the dishes or cleaning the house. I can watch it while I do that. I love it because it keeps you invested even though you don't have to invest a lot of time in it. So I highly recommend it. Something that took a lot of my night was Tribute to the Troops, and we're not going to go super deep into it, but two things. Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, excuse me, and JBL were the commentary team.
Ick.
Saxton, more like Saxton.
Oh no.
No, I love Byron Saxton. But yeah, JBL apparently was the one who started Tribute to the Troops, which is why he was on board for this. And he also lives in Texas when he's not in Bermuda.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can't.
Yeah. And the only other real thing is you can definitely tell who WWE wants to put their dollars behind by who they had wrestle.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, wow, every single person here is like people that they're trying to push real hard. So Rhonda and Natty, Riot Squad, Tamina and Nia, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to push like at least one or two of those people from each one of those groups.
Yeah.
Elias, the former Army member, the almighty Bobby Lashley with Lio Rush.
Okay, obviously. Yes, that would be dumb if they didn't have him on there.
Right. Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, Becky, Charlotte, Mandy Rose, Sonya, who just recently got t-shirts in the WWE store, just saying. The New Day, obviously, although they just had the New Day handing out presents and doing a weird Denny's infomercial. Jon Stewart,
Oh, God.
AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose. If that's not who they're back in hardcore at this time, I don't know what's a clear indication. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, they're, I'm pulling a Pat move of just making sound effects with my tone.
With your mouth?
Yes. I'm invoking Black Market Ivan's tactics here because I'm kind of, I don't know. I should care, and I just don't. Val, I don't care.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. That was a tribute to the troops. I sat through all 2 hours. I thought it was only an hour. Oy vey.
That's worse. That's when you're like, your anticipation's gonna be lessened.
Yeah,
You're like,
I was like,
fuck
wait,
am I buckled into?
Wait,
No.
when is this Charlotte match happening? What? Second hour? Oy vey.
Oh,
But
God.
on that note, I just want to give you a little shout out to the Chicago scene before we wrap up. We got 4 minutes. AAW Pro Wrestling presents the Windy City Classic 14. This is their 14th year of doing it. Saturday, December 29th at 115 Bourbon Street, 3359 West 115th Street in Marionette Park, Illinois. 7:30 p.m. bell time. Doors are at 6 p.m. It is an all-ages event. Now, it's almost entirely sold out. All that is left is general admission, which are my favorite seats, honestly, for $20. You better go buy tickets now because it will sell out. There is a steel cage heavyweight championship between Brody King and Sami Callihan. DJZ versus Bandito for the AAW Heritage Championship match. A submission match for the AAW Women's Championship match, or championship title. Kylie Ray versus Kimberly. So it's her automatic, I guess. Oh, yeah, that's one of the things. They got rid of the automatic rematch clause because it's antiquated. So we'll never have to see the same match over and over ever again.
Nice.
Pretty funny, WWE. But yeah, so this is Kylie Ray versus Kimberly in her rematch as Kylie Ray won the belt at the last AAW show. AAW Tag Team Championship match between AR Fox with Myron Reed against Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier. Oh my God, I love them. The Rascals. Grudge match between ACH and Eddie Kingston, and these dudes have a lot of heat for each other, dude. Oof. Quinn McKay, Jake Something, and Kurt Stallion with against Scarlett Bordeaux and the besties in the world, Davey Vega and Matt Fitchett. I don't even know how this is going to happen, but I'm kind of intrigued by it. A double dog collar chain match. What? Of Jessica Havoc and Paco against Jimmy Jacobs and Josh Briggs.
I just want to visually watch that.
Yeah, right.
Like, the real, like, first off, those two, like Jessica Havoc and Paco tag teaming together, that's insane. But also, what? Double dog collar? I don't even know. But I do know you'll also see Mance Warner, Colt Cabana, Rich Swann, David Starr, Darby Allin, Jeff Cobb, MJF, Shane Strickland, Ace Romero, Trey Miguel, Stephen Wolf, all on this show. So don't miss it. You're going to regret it if you do. I'm seriously trying to figure out ways to get out of work. I hate that I have to work a hippie jam band show and not go to that. Ugh. But the only other thing I want to tell you real quick is that Freelance Wrestling and Warrior Wrestling are collaborating with Pro Wrestling Tees. They are presenting an in-store meet and greet with Ultimo Dragon. He is going to be doing a signing on January the 5th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Photos are $25, autografias are $25, but the combinación solamente $40. So only $40 for the two. It's at 2348 North Damon Avenue, Chicago, 60647. I can only imagine that they'll be selling tickets in advance, although don't get mad if I'm wrong. Definitely follow Freelance Wrestling and Warrior Wrestling on Twitter, and you'll find out more information. But yeah, that's a Quick and Easy's Chicago Scene Report.
Wow, that's a loaded card.
Yeah, dude.
Crap. That Ultimo Dragon, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna switch up the format a little bit, and like we mentioned earlier, we're gonna bookend the show with NXT and NXT UK. And Danielle,
I'm gonna just wrap it up real fast.
Well, first of all, before you go into it, did you like NXT this week?
Yeah. I'm gonna just touch on the two main elements. So I'm just gonna do NXT.
Panicki.
Oh no. Oh my god, we're never gonna hear the end of that. Now that she's being called up to the main roster. Wait,
no. Okay. NXT UK. There's only a couple things I want to touch on. Mustache Mountain took the win against Tyson T-Bone and Huxley, and I just want to talk about that because my thick boy got the pin, and just it's always pleasurable to see him on my screen.
Trent 7.
Oh yes. Oh, how about the two of them talking about the different towns they go to? They were dressed so nice and so badly.
It's so dapper.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh my god, Danielle is wigging out right now. I know it.
Yes, it was very easy on the eyes.
Putting the Flama in Blanca
all day, every day. And then that final match to part 1 of the day, which was Rhea Ripley versus Isla Dawn Ivanov, the White Witch. Good match.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Did they add that name to her this week?
That's
that's Simon's wife.
There's two Mrs. Ivanovs, one in the UK and then the one in the Florida. So
who's the Florida one?
Oh, Vanessa Bourne.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Borvanov and Isla Donvanov.
Oh, I like both of those. Yes. I think they both come first, and then I'm somewhere on the sidelines. But I'm okay with that. That it was just a great match. I love watching Rhea Ripley on my screen. Also, they both are. That match was very entertaining, and it was nice to see just a hard hitting match. Hour 2 or episode 2. I think I'm just gonna touch on what I enjoyed, which was the Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews match, which they ended up losing to James Drake and Zach Gibson. But again, heavy hitter. Some spots were like, "Oh, someone's gonna die!" Like, just an intense match. NXT UK is just great, so check it out. But we're gonna fly back to Orlando and talk about the only great thing. Well, no, the NXT is just phenomenal there, but the main event, we have to just dive into that.
The whole show is so good.
It is, but for timeliness, I'm just going to talk about the main event, and we will touch back on the developing situation with the rest of the roster on a different night. So there was a cage match between Johnny Wrestling and Aleister Black. And Johnny Wrestling took the win with the help of Mr. Tommaso Ciampa. So
I didn't see this or even know about this happening. I'm shocked to hear this.
Oh, this was heavenly. I think Pat was the first one weeks ago saying, will there be a dark DIY heel turn together situation? And this is just, we'll see what happens. There's so many ways that they can make this work, or just, manipulate it into another Gargano Ciampa feud. But pretty much Aleister is on the ground. Tommaso opens up the gate, and as Aleister crawls to the edge of the ring, he slams it in his face. And then he throws him in the ring, and he gets in the ring, and Gargano's already up and over the cage pretty much. Sees what's happening, comes down, and Ciampa sets him up or sets up Aleister for their... I couldn't think of the actual move. I don't remember what it was called, but when they both do their double kick, I don't know the actual name of the move. And Gargano gives him the eyes, and they do the classic DIY move, and Gargano takes the win. And Tommaso rolls out of the ring, closes the gate all slowly, and walks back in just this maniacal expression and waves to him, and Gargano's just staring blankly. And it was just a great way to close.
Was he like confused of what just happened? Or
You
was
know,
he like, yeah, we're back together?
No, I don't want to take it like that. I would take it like they just had a moment of being on the same page. And as the camera panned back to Gargano's face, he just was kind of staring off. So maybe that's his full heel turn. I don't know.
Like banging your ex, and then the next morning they walk out and you walk away, and you're like, how should we feel about this?
Yes, that actually is the best visualization of that.
I also feel like it's the same kind of dirty feeling because Johnny Gargano is like, am I fully committed to this dark life now? Did I seriously just bang my ex? Oh, it wasn't even that good, but it was kind of spectacular.
Oh yes, it's a encounter I hope happens over and over.
Like,
and over
I forgot
again.
how hairy he was, like all that type of stuff.
Tommaso Ciampa is the right amount of hairy thing.
He does. He is. He's the
he's the right amount.
No more. Yeah, it's perfect.
Pat, while you're editing this, I want you to think about what is the right amount of hair.
Tommaso Ciampa.
So there's awesome things that happened also on this week's NXT, but we're gonna close out the episode on that because why not?
That's a good high point. That's a good high point. So guys, so next week we're probably just gonna talk about maybe the year in review, right? Because next week there probably will not be a lot of new stuff going on, but I think we'll do that, guys. What do you think, Val and Danielle? What do you think? Maybe next week we compile the greatest moments of 2018.
I would like to do that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm for that.
Because it's gonna be pre-taped stuff. That's gonna suck.
And all of us are traveling so much next week, so I think a recap is easier for us to, when you don't have to rely on other programming. So I'm for that.
Cool. All right. So that's a nice preview for you guys. And but yeah, guys. That was a nice big big show. And Val, thanks for the update and giving us those tips and being our Chicago travel agent for our wrestling fans. And any last words, Danielle?
No.
Any Christmas or okay? Is Hanukkah over?
Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, dude. So now
over.
Me gets the party. You know what's great though? Like a good Jew, and please don't take offense to this, anybody. I'm Jewish. It's fine. I went and bought a Hanukkah dog light up thing for my yard on clearance. That's right. I got it for $12.49 because Hanukkah is over, and my grandmother would have been so proud of me.
We were in Bed Bath and Beyond because we're in our 30s.
Hanukkah reindeer thing, or whatever Hanukkah moose. It was a Hanukkah moose.
So there's, we'll have to have a side conversation about the significance of that. But
I have no idea because I'm a terrible Jew. But
so there was another item we saw, and I was like, this is kind of offensive. We'll have to talk to Val about this. And it was a candy bar. A chocolate bar?
Yeah, shaped like a dollar bill or like $1 million bill with a menorah in the middle.
And it was just the most what the stereotype is. And I was like, I'm offended. Yeah. I am not Jewish, and I don't understand why that this is a novelty. But then as we were browsing the rest of the store, there's chocolate Santas, there's chocolate Jesuses. So I guess it nothing is sacred. So not that money is sacred. I'm just saying, like, why are you putting holidays with, but it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, Hanukkah Gelt has been a thing forever. I mean, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Like, you get the gold coins.
Oh, I see. I don't know.
When you play dreidel, because so when you spin the dreidel, oh geez, it's a long one. So It's a game that the kids generally play. It's dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made you out of clay. And when you're dry and ready, oh dreidel, I will play. Hey, right? So you spin it, and based on what you get, like you get Hanukkah gelt, which is like a reward. But instead of actual coins, they give you chocolate coins. And so chocolate money. Although I don't understand the significance of $1 million bar with a menorah on it. That's fucking creepy, dude. But then again, I bought a discounted Hanukkah dog. So who knows? He's got a dreidel though. He plays dreidel.
But at least that, even though it's like 10 degrees separation from what you just said, it still has some significance. So I guess they weren't being extremely offensive.
Yeah,
Well, debatable, because like Hanukkah gelt is one thing, but giving like fake money, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I'm not like gonna be like starting a thing about it, but
we're gonna boycott Bed Bath & Beyond.
I mean, I might. I just looked up chocolate $1 million menorah on my cellular.
I'm on Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm typing Hanukkah chocolate as we speak.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm trying
Well,
to see if one of us
according to Restock Mart, for $38.09, I could get a Happy Hanukkah mug gift set, mug, chocolate, money, dreidels, gift bags. God, you guys really messed up. You could have got me this. It would have been perfect.
Well, happy belated Hanukkah.
By the way, I also just found a present for Patrick. Wake and Bake Coffee Company.
Wait, it's like actual coffee or
no? It's like the best part of waking up is hot Java and kind bud in your mug.
Ooh, that would be a lovely present.
I just typed in Jewish money chocolate and nothing happened.
Oh my god. Okay, people, thank you for tuning in to Schedule for One Fall. I am Danielle La Flama Blanca. You are Val Capone, and you are Black Market Ivan.
I am.
Happy belated Hanukkah. Happy early Christmas and early Kwanzaa and early Orthodox Christmas and whatever the hell is going on. Happy everything.
Chocolate.
Goodbye, everybody.
Jewish money chocolate. Bye.
Wake and Bake Coffee Company.